I hope you're able to see.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so today's topic is going to be a very, very important one. That is equation of line in space. So in the previous class I discussed, last year you would have learned about writing the equation of a straight line. But for you to write the equation of straight line in a two-dimensional plane, you will be using the concept of slope, right? But this year, what will be used? There is no concept of slope when you come to when it comes to three dimension. It is only about direction cosines and direction ratios. Okay. So I want you to have one important point in mind. So these are the prerequisites for you to know before we start that exercise. So important points to be remembered. Please make a note of this, okay? First, coefficients of any vector other than unit vector. Okay, coefficient of any vector other than unit vector is called, not is called, are the direction, okay, coefficients of unit vector are the direction, fill in the blank. That is what I'm trying to say is, if you have any vector r as ai cap plus bj cap plus ck cap, then what are the coefficients ABC of this particular vector, provided magnitude of r vector is not equal to 1. So what do A, B, and C represent?
Direction ratios.
Yes. So they are the direction ratios of it. Please make a clear note of it. Okay. Similarly, coefficients of unit vector will obviously be direction cosines. Okay, these are the two important points to be kept in your mind. If you have clarity of this, you will have understanding of whatever I'm going to derive now. Okay. See, now I'm going to proceed. Concentrate. So, if you want to write the equation of a line, see, I just want to tell you one thing, guys. If you want to write the equation of line in 2D, okay, what are all the required data for you? If I give you certain, so you need certain data to write the equation, right? What all do you need? What combinations can I give you? So for you to write the equation of line in 2D, if I give you slope and if I give you point, will you be able to write the equation of line? You will be able to write it as y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. This is called as slope point form. Similarly, if I give you 2 points and I'm not giving you slope, will you be able to write the equation?
Yes, sir.
So you'll be able to write it as y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. What is this called as? What is the name of this form? So what are given? So it's called as 2-point form because 2 points are given. So these are all the requirements for you to write the equation of a straight line in 2 dimensions. So whenever you need to frame an equation, you need to have certain information in your hand. In a similar way, if you want to write the equation of line in space, that can be done if there are 2 conditions that are given. So a line is uniquely determined in space, okay? So in a space, you can write the equation of line if you know the point through which the line is passing and the direction to it is given. Okay? And I'm repeating it. So if you know the point and the direction of that line, you will be able to write the equation of that line. Again, I'm repeating here, direction doesn't mean north, east, west, south and all. Here direction means the direction cosines or the direction ratios. Okay. Similarly, you will be able to write the equation of line if you know the 2 points through which it is passing. Okay. Just like how in this case, these two are different scenarios. Here also it is going to be a different scenario. Okay. So I'm going to write, if there is any doubt, get it clarified. Equation of line in space, that is heading. So what do we need? First, the first one is what? So equation of line, look at the way I'm framing it. Passing through a given point. When I say given point, the point is fixed. When it is passing through a given point, and what else is known? And its direction is known. Okay. When I say its direction is known, in the bracket I'm saying, it can be, or I will say like this, a vector parallel to the expected line will be given. Guys, are you able to understand? So when you want to write the equation of line, what all things will be given in the first case? So if you know the point through which the line is passing and also its direction. When I say its direction, what is expected? You need to know a vector which is parallel to this line. That is the indirect meaning of it. That's what is given, right? And given direction. Here, given direction means it is parallel to a given line. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay. Now observe, I'm going to use simple triangle law of addition. Okay. If I take X, Y, and Z axis, okay. I'm taking Z axis also because it's a space. Now listen, guys. I need to know a point. Let that point be A. Okay. So when I say a point, the coordinates of that point will be given x1, y1, z1. Okay. In such a way that if I try to define the unit vector of, the position vector of it, I'm going to write OA vector as A vector. Okay. So let's say there is a line like this. Okay. I'm saying there is a line like this. Okay. It is not parallel to x-axis, nor y-axis, nor z-axis. So our interest is to write the equation of this line. Okay. So according to the requirements, we know a point. What else is supposed to be known to us?
Direction.
Direction means there should be a vector which is parallel to this vector. Let the vector parallel to this be B vector. Let the vector parallel to this be B vector. So OA vector is A vector, that is the given point, and B vector is the parallel vector to the line which is given direction. Right? So whenever you want to write the equation of any shape, right, we need to consider a point called as locus point. We will take a general point P which has the coordinates as x, y, z. Try to understand x1, y1, z1 is a fixed point. If there is a suffix used like x1, x2, something like that, it's a fixed point. If it is not used, it is a variable point. So I've taken a random point P. Generally in mathematics, in terms of vector, we call that OP vector as R vector. Like how in straight lines we use AX plus BY plus Z, where AX plus BY is equal to C, where X and Y are the variable points on the line. Here in vector, we will use R vector as the variable vector. Okay. So here A vector is fixed, R vector is variable. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
So now listen, guys. If this is O and this is A, this is OA vector. I'm drawing a separate diagram, okay? Similarly, I have a point P which is having its position vector as R vector. Then I have AP vector, correct? Now tell me one thing. Since AP vector is parallel to whom? Parallel to B vector. We know the condition between parallel vectors. We know the condition for two vectors to be parallel. What is it? One vector should be lambda times another vector. Accepted.
Yes, sir.
So can I write AP vector as lambda times B vector? Right, guys? Now see. Now using triangle law of addition, what can I say is the relation between all the three vectors? OA vector
Plus AP vector,
very good, completed, plus AP vector is equal to,
R vector.
that is OP vector. Right. Now what is A vector? OA vector, it is A vector plus lambda times B vector is equal to R vector. So the equation, the vector equation of line is what? R vector is equal to A vector plus lambda times B vector. This will be the required equation, guys. Write it down. Done? Now listen. Now the Cartesian form of line. So every time when you write equation, right, you will write it in two forms. One is vector equation and the second is Cartesian equation. Cartesian means in the terms of x, y, z. So we know that R vector is xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap is equal to, what is A1 vector, guys? A1 vector is x1 I cap plus x2 j cap plus x3 k cap. Because that is the position vector of OA, that is the position vector of A bar, plus lambda into, look at the way I'm going to write, AI cap plus BJ cap plus CK cap, where ABC represent what? Direction,
Ratios.
yes, direction ratios of the line, okay, or direction ratios of B vector. So from this, I can conclude, observe what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this whole vector to the left-hand side. So can I write it as x minus x1 I cap plus y minus y1 j cap plus z minus z. Oh, sorry. x1 I cap plus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap. So x minus x1 plus y minus y1 plus z minus z1 times k cap is equal to lambda times ai cap plus bj cap plus ck cap. Right. So this implies x minus x1 divided by a is equal to y minus y1 divided by b is equal to z minus z1 divided by c is lambda. So this is the Cartesian form of line. right? So this is called as the Cartesian form of line. Okay, now listen. If the direction cosines of the line is given, we can still write it as x minus x1 divided by L is equal to y minus y1 divided by M is equal to z minus z1 divided by N. So this is also another way of writing. This is also the Cartesian form of a line. Because both will generate the same answer. Okay. Now let's do an example problem. Observe. So example number 6, if you see, it's in NCERT page 469. Find the vector and Cartesian equations of the line through the point phi 2 minus 4, which is parallel to the vector 3i cap plus 2j cap minus 8k cap. So solution. Given A vector is how much, guys? 5i cap plus 2j cap minus 4k cap. What is B vector? 3i cap plus 2j cap minus 8k cap. So vector equation, R vector is equal to A vector plus lambda times B vector. So R vector is equal to, what is A vector? It is 5i cap plus 2j cap minus 4k cap plus lambda times 3i cap plus 2j cap minus 8k cap. This will be the required answer. This will be the vector form. Similarly, what is going to be the Cartesian form? So Cartesian form is x minus x1 by A is equal to y minus y1 by B is equal to z minus z1 by C. So what will it be? X minus 5 by 3 is equal to y minus 2 by 2 is equal to z minus of minus 4 divided by minus 8. So it will be x minus 5 by 3 is equal to y minus 2 by 2 is equal to z plus 4 divided by minus 8. Please make a note of it. Okay. So I'm moving on to the next. I hope it is clear till this step.
So,
Right. Good. So what is the next form, guys? If 2 points are given to you, how are you going to write the equation? So if you take a point A and B, okay, let's say there is a line that is passing through two given points. So when I say given, x1, y1, z1 is 1 point, x2, y2, and z2 is another point. Okay. So let this be. Now tell me guys. OA vector, if I take this, it will be A vector. If this is B vector. So OA vector is A vector. What is A vector? It is x1 I cap plus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap. What is OB vector? OB vector is B vector, that will be x2 I cap plus y2 j cap plus z2 k cap. Clear with these two?
Yes, sir.
Now see, what are we supposed to do to find the equation? Consider a general point. I'm taking a general point P. So OP vector is nothing but R vector. R vector is generally taken as x, y, z. So it will be xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap. Now you people tell me the condition, guys. So you are able to see the points P, A, and B. How are they? Point P, A, and B.
Collinear.
Yes, that's right. So what are the mathematical condition for collinearity in vectors? So what are the mathematical condition for vectors to be collinear? So I told you in vectors, collinearity and parallelism means the same. What did we use in the previous case?
A equal to lambda times AB.
That's it. One vector is equal to some scalar times another vector, right? Here, how many vectors can we define? We can define AP vector and AB vector. Can I take like this? I'm randomly taking, okay? Because I don't know where the point P is. I've randomly taken. So from this, can I say since A, P, and B are collinear points, observe guys, can I say AP vector is lambda times AB vector? So what is AP vector? AP vector is OP vector minus OA vector from the concept of position vectors is equal to lambda times OB vector minus OA vector. This is also from the concept of position vectors. What is OP vector? R vector minus OA vector is A vector is equal to lambda into B vector minus A vector. So R vector will be equal to A vector plus lambda into B vector minus A vector. So this will be the required vector equation. Vector equation of whom? Vector equation of a line that is passing through two given points. Okay, let me check once. Yes, that's what they've used. Okay. So why I check this? Because there is nothing wrong if I write it as B vector plus lambda times A vector minus B vector also. You can write it in any way you want. Okay. I just went with the textbook notation. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now see, I'm going to write the Cartesian. So before I write the Cartesian form, can I write lambda is equal to R vector minus A vector divided by B vector minus A vector? Okay, I'll do one thing. I cannot divide two vectors. So can I write R vector minus A vector is equal to lambda into B vector minus A vector? Now see, what is R vector? Xi cap plus Yj cap plus Zk cap minus A vector is x1 I cap plus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap is equal to lambda into what is b vector minus a vector, guys? It is x2 minus x1 times I cap plus y2 minus y1 times j cap plus z2 minus z1 times k cap. So from this, if I rearrange the equation, I will have x minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1 is equal to y minus y1 divided by z2 minus z1 is equal to z minus z1 divided by z2 minus z1. Sorry, wait. Is equal to lambda. Actually, you need not write this lambda, I wrote it. If you write till here, that is more than sufficient. See, before I conclude, I just want to tell you an important thing. If you observe, what was the previous equation? We got x minus x1 divided by a is equal to y minus y1 divided by b is equal to z minus z1 divided by c. So, if you know two given points, how will you find the direction ratios of it? What is the direction ratio of a line joining two points? The previous exercise we learned. So direction ratio of a line joining two points is the difference in their coordinates, x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, and z2 minus z1. If you observe, the denominator is having them only. Okay. So they both are same. So please make a note of it. Okay. So I'm doing an example problem based on this. So find the vector equation of line passing through the points minus 1, 0, 2. So x1, y1, z1 and x2, y2, z2. Okay. So what will be the equation, guys? R vector is equal to a vector plus lambda times b vector minus a vector. If you take this as a, then this would be b. So R vector is equal to, what is a vector? Minus I cap plus 2j cap plus lambda times 3I cap plus 4j cap plus 6k cap minus of minus I cap plus 2j cap. So it will be minus I cap plus 2j
Sir,
cap.
it's 2K
Sir,
cap.
it is for Z, no, sir.
2k cap. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Plus lambda into how much is this? 4I cap plus 4j cap plus 4k. So this will be the required vector equation of the line. Okay. Now, what will be the Cartesian form? X minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1. So 3 minus of minus 1 is equal to y minus y1 divided by y2 minus y1, that is 4 minus 0, is equal to z minus z1 divided by z2 minus z1. So x plus 1 divided by 4 is equal to y divided by 4 is equal to z minus 2 divided by 2.
Sir, is it 6 minus 2, no?
Oh, where? 4,
Sir, in the
4,
last step.
6 minus 4 is 4 only, 2 only.
No, sir, it is 6 minus 2, no, sir.
Which one? This one. Are you yelling at this place?
No, sir. Above step, sir.
Oh, 6 minus 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Z minus 2 divided by 4. Okay. So these are simple ones. Okay. So sometimes what they will do is they will give you the Cartesian equation of the line and they will ask you to write it in the vector form. I think that is the one, right? Yeah. The Cartesian equation of the line is given. Find the vector equation of the line. So how are we supposed to do? So if there is a Cartesian equation, assume this to be equal to lambda. Then x plus 3 will be equal to 2 lambda. Y minus 5 will be equal to 4 lambda. Z plus 6 will be equal to 2 lambda. So x is equal to 2 lambda minus 3. Y is equal to 4 lambda plus 5. Z is equal to 2 lambda minus 6. Okay. So R vector is equal to xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap, right? So what is the value of x, guys? 2 lambda minus 3 times I cap plus 4 lambda plus 5 times j cap plus 2 lambda minus 6 times k cap. So collect all the terms without lambda. That will be minus 3 I cap plus 5 j cap minus 6 k cap plus lambda into 2 I cap plus 4 j cap plus 2 k cap. This will be R. This is the vector equation. Okay. So with this, equation of lines is over. Now the next type of concepts that we are supposed to deal with is, if two lines are given, how are you going to find the angle between those two lines? Okay. So angle between two lines is the question. In textbook, they have directly given you the formula. I'll tell you what you're supposed to do. Okay. Write down what I'm going to write. So the heading is angle between two lines. Okay. Remember, if I ask you in 2D, what is the general equation of a straight line? It is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 in two-dimensional plane. Similarly, in a three-dimensional plane or space, the general equation of line is r vector is equal to a vector plus lambda times b vector. Okay. So here, how many lines are given to you? There are 2 lines given. Let the 2 given lines be r1 vector is equal to a1 vector plus lambda times b1 vector. R2 vector is equal to a2 vector plus lambda times b2 vector. Or it cannot be lambda, it will be some mu. Okay. Here, one mistake that I made is, one common mistake that happens. Can someone correct it? What is the mistake that I made? Common mistake is, what did I say you are supposed to take the general point on the line as? You will take it as r vector. No, there is no question of r1 vector and r2 vector. So it is only r vector. Okay. So I wrote it and erased it so that you don't repeat that mistake. I hope it has got registered in your mind. So there is nothing like R1 vector and R2 vector, but right hand side you will have A1 and B2 and A2 and B2. Sorry, A1, B1 and A2, B2. Now see, this is R1 vector, A1 vector plus lambda times B1 vector. Whenever you have a line like this, no? See, for example, if I say you have to draw this and show, you have to represent this line diagrammatically, then what I understand is if there is a line, on that line, there is a point which is minus 3i cap plus 5j cap minus 6k cap, because this is a vector, the point on the line. Then what does this 2i cap plus 4j cap plus 2k cap represent? It is what? Can you please fill it?
Parallel vector.
Excellent. So it is a vector which is parallel to it. That is 2i cap plus 4j cap plus 2k. I hope you're able to visualize it diagrammatically, right? So this is B vector. So this is B vector and this point is A, right? So in a similar way, can I say that if this is the line 1, guys, okay, can I say that this is A1 vector? That is the position vector of A. And it will be parallel to a vector which is B1 vector. Now see, let us assume there is another line L2. Let me call this as L1. There is a line L2. Let's say they both are meeting at an angle theta. For L2, there will be a point A2 and it will be parallel to a vector B2. Accepted? Right. So what is our job on this topic? We need to find the angle between these two. That is, we need to find out what is the value of theta. That is the angle at which these two lines are intersecting. They might not intersect also. We don't know. They could have been parallel vectors also. But assuming they are able to intersect, what is going to be the angle between them? So we need to write them in terms of certain known parameters. Right. So concentrate what I'm going to do. Can I say that the angle between the lines L1 and L2 is the same as the angles between the vectors B1 and B2? Are you guys able to visualize this? If I take, so if this is theta, there is also going to be theta, because the vectors which are parallel to the given lines are also going to meet exactly at the angle theta. Right. Now see what I'm going to do. Let B1 vector be A1 I cap plus B1 j cap plus C1 k cap, and B2 vector be A2 I cap plus B2 j cap plus C2 k cap. Here the point that you're not supposed to get confused with is this B1 and this B1 are not the same. Okay, since it is in your textbook, it is given as B, I'm following it. If you want, you can take it as an alpha vector also. Okay, where A1, B1, C1 represent what? Direction ratios of B1 vector. Similarly, A2, B2 and C2 represent the direction ratios of B2 vector. Right? So if two vectors are given to you, how will you find the angle between them? Use the concept of vectors. So angle between two vectors is like this. Cos theta is equal to, what is cos theta, guys? B1 vector dot B2 vector divided by what? Magnitude of B1 vector into magnitude of B2 vector. Because if A vector and B vector are two, A and B are two vectors, then the cos theta, the cos of the angle between them is A dot B divided by mod A into mod B. Right? So what will cos theta from this be? What is B1 vector dot B2 vector? It is A1 A2 plus B1 B2 plus C1 C2, the whole divided by root of A1 square plus B1 square plus C1 square into root of A2 square plus B2 square plus C2 square, where all this A1, A2, B1, B2, everything is a direction ratio of the specific line. Okay. So this is what is given in your textbook, guys. So make a note of this 1 minute. Make a note of this. See, generally, one important point to be noted here is you need to put a modulus because when you remove the modulus, you will have a plus or minus. Why I'm saying modulus has to be included is because I've taken this angle. This is the angle between the lines. But if I take this one, this is also the angle between the lines, which is 180 minus theta. So whenever you're trying to define the angle between two lines, right, you will definitely get an acute angle and an obtuse angle. Okay, that is the reason why we use a modulus. Please make a note of it. If there is any doubt, ask. Okay, I hope you're done. Now listen. So example number 9. How to find find the angle between the pair of line given by r vector is equal to this thing plus lambda times this plus mu times another vector. So this is b1 vector, this is b2 vector. So what is cos theta, guys? You need not memorize that big formula. Rather, you can memorize b1 vector dot b2 vector divided by mod of b1 vector into mod of b2. So what will answer be? b1 dot b2 is 3 plus 4 plus 12 the whole divided by root of 1 plus 4 plus 4, that is 9 into root of 9 plus 4 plus 36. 16, 19 divided by 3 into 7. So 19 divided by 21. So theta will be how much? Cos inverse of 19 divided by 20. So here we are defining the acute angle. If you want the obtuse angle, it will be pi minus cos inverse of 19 by 20. Got it? Let's do example number 10. Solution. Find the angle between the pair of lines x plus 3 by 3, y minus 1 by 5, z plus 3 by 4. So from this, you guys tell me what is b1 vector. You can directly look at it and tell me.
3i cap plus 5j cap
Yes, that's
plus
right.
4k cap.
Yes. Similarly, what is b2 vector? It is I cap plus j cap plus 2k cap. So what is cos theta, guys? Three plus 5 plus 8 divided by root of 9 plus 25 is 34. 34 plus 16 is 50 into root of 1 plus 1 plus 4 root 6. 13. 16 divided by root of 300 will be 10 root 3. So it will be 8 divided by 5 root 3. Or it is 8 root 3 by 15. So theta is equal to cos inverse of 8 root 3 divided by 15. Let's check the answer. Yes. Right? So I hope it's clear. Now see. So what we have done, we have understood how to write the equations of line. We have understood how to find the angle between them. The next topic will be how to find the shortest distance between two lines. Okay. So whenever you talk about shortest distance between two lines, you're always talking about the perpendicular distance. Okay. So under that, the first topic that we are going to see is distance between two skew lines. Okay. First, before we look at the topic, we need to understand what is skew line. So skew lines are those lines which are neither intersecting nor parallel. So those so the lines which are neither intersecting nor parallel. Till now we would have learned that the parallel lines are the only lines which will not intersect. Right? So parallel lines are the ones which will not intersect in 2 dimension. Whereas in 3 dimension, it is possible for you to draw. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So in 2 dimension, they don't intersect. But if you draw two non-parallel lines, they are definitely going to intersect in 2 dimension. Whereas in 3 dimension, you can still draw two non-parallel lines, but they will not intersect. Those kind of lines are what are called as skew lines. Okay. If you want to visualize how they look like, I'll show you. Wait, I'll switch on my camera. So if you see, if you take one line like this and the other line like this, they are parallel actually. They are parallel, right? But if I take one line like this and the other line like this, they are non-parallel. But if you observe, they will not intersect also. Okay, what you can do is keep two pens like this parallel to you. Just turn one pen with respect to another. If you turn them, then these kind of lines are what are called as skew lines. They go like this, they will not intersect. Now what we are going to do is we are going to find the shortest distance between them. Okay. So that is what this topic is. So topic says shortest distance between or distance between skew lines. So let the two skew lines be r vector is equal to a1 vector plus lambda times b vector, and the other will be a2 vector plus mu times b2 vector. Then PQ will give you the distance. So for this one, I'm not showing derivation. Okay, it's not needed also. So the distance between them is given as the cross product of b1 vector and b2 vector. Okay, the cross product of b1 vector and b2 vector dot a2 vector minus a1 vector divided by the magnitude of b1 vector cross b2 vector. Make a note of this. So if two skew lines are given to you, then the distance between them is given as magnitude of b1 vector cross b2 vector dot a2 vector minus a1 vector, the whole divided by magnitude of b1 vector cross b2 vector and the modulus of it. The reason why we are taking modulus is because the numerator might give us a negative value. Okay. Similarly, when you talk about the distance between two parallel lines, right? When you talk about the distance between two parallel lines, then the vectors will be taken in such a way that r vector will be a1 plus lambda b, and r vector will be a2 plus mu times b. Means the second vector will be the same, because if there are two lines which are parallel to each other, then they will also be parallel to the vector to which each line is parallel to. So in the previous case, what did we have? We had b1 vector and b2 vector. If the values of b1 and b2 are different, then we can say that they are not parallel lines. If the value of b1 and b2 are the same, then we can say that they are parallel lines. For parallel lines, the distance between them is given as b vector, that is a parallel vector, cross a2 vector minus a1 vector, the whole divided by magnitude of b vector. So this is the distance. Okay. So I will do some examples and show you. Now see. So find the shortest distance between the example number 11. Find the shortest distance between the lines L1 and L2 whose vector equations are given like this. Now look at them and tell me, are they parallel lines or skew lines? Guys, look at them and tell me, look at the equations. Tell me whether they are parallel lines or skew lines.
Skew lines.
Q
Yes.
line.
Yes. So B1 vector is how much? 2i cap minus j cap plus k cap. B2 vector is 3i cap minus 5j cap plus 2k cap. A1 vector is how much? I cap plus j cap. A2 vector is how much? 2i cap plus j cap minus k cap. Okay. So what is the distance between skew lines? Magnitude of or modulus of B1 vector cross B2 vector, the dot product of it with A2 vector minus A1 vector, the whole divided by magnitude of B1 vector cross B2 vector. Okay. So first find what is B1 vector cross B2 vector. We know how to find it. I, J, K. B1 is 2 minus 1, 1. B2 is 3 minus 5, 2. So I cap into minus 2 plus 5 minus j cap into 4 minus 3 plus k cap into minus 10 plus 3. So 3 I cap minus j cap minus 7 k cap. This is B1 vector cross B2 vector. Right. So what will be the value of D? So in the numerator, dot product of this with A2 minus A1. So I'm writing A2 vector minus A1 vector here itself. So what is A2 vector minus A1 vector?
I cap minus k cap.
That's it. I cap. That's it. I cap minus k cap. So the dot product of this and A2 minus A1 will be 3 minus 0 plus 7, the whole divided by root of 9 plus 1 plus 49. So it is magnitude of 10 divided by root 59. So answer is 10 divided by root 59 or 10 root 59 divided by 59. So these many units will be the answer. I hope it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with the hope that you guys can do this, I'm moving on to the next problem so that this exercise will be over. So look at the solution. Find the distance between the lines L1 and L2 given by these two lines, these two equations. So they are, observe them,
Parallel.
parallel. So what is the answer? Distance will be magnitude of B vector cross A2 vector minus A1 vector, the whole divided by magnitude of B vector. So what is B? B vector is 2i cap plus 3j cap plus 6k cap. A2 vector minus A1 vector, directly tell me. 2i cap plus j cap minus k cap. So B cross this thing. So B vector cross A2 vector minus A1 vector is equal to ijk 23621 minus 1. So I cap into minus 3 minus 6 minus j cap into minus 2 minus 12 plus k cap into 2 minus 6. So it is minus 9i cap plus 14j cap minus 4k cap. Right? So magnitude of this will be root of, magnitude of B vector is how much? Root of 4 plus 9 plus 36. That will be root 49, that is 7. Now you can substitute it. So D will be, from this we can imply what is the magnitude of this? Square root of 81 plus 14 square plus 16. So root of 81 plus 14 square plus 16, the whole divided by 7. This will be the answer. Okay. So with this, the concept of this exercise is over. I want you all to try the problems from this exercise. Okay. So one point I would like to mention here. If suppose two lines are given and they're asking you to prove that these two lines are perpendicular, then what you can conclude is, if two lines are perpendicular, cos theta will be 0. What is cos theta? Cos theta is a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2. So cos theta is 0 means numerator will be 0. So this is the condition for perpendicularity. So if two lines are parallel, then their direction ratios will be proportional. Okay. So these are the last points. Now what you need to do is, you can start working on this exercise. Okay. If there are any doubts, you can ask me in the next class, but try it before you come. Next class, I'll be starting plane. So just wait for a minute, don't leave.